a privilege.
Yes, and back at you, sir. And to all of us that get to be with you today, thank you for being on the Pamela Show. Hey, John!
Hello, Pamela. Great to be here. Super excited. How are you doing?
Oh, it is so exciting. Well, everybody, this is John Tallarico. Welcome back to the Pamela Show, where we learn and we grow together. Today, we get to have part 2 with Terryl Daluz, and I am so excited because last week he ended talking about your gifts, your callings, and how your gifts and your talents are your jewels and your tools to help you navigate through and help and equip not just yourself, but other people. And so that's where we're going to pick up on today. Are you ready? Here we go. Take it away, Terryl.
So I'm at that place now, and I discovered that, ironically, last, I'll say 5 years, I became more intentional. I've always been pushed down the path of enlightenment since an early age. Everyone always says, you have something. Even in my neighborhood, in the violence, in the drugs, in the moment, there was a moment when everyone was selling drugs in my neighborhood. And I'll just be honest. And I didn't have money, single parent. I was the oldest, me and my little brother, latchkey kid. And I remember wanting the nice jeans and I couldn't have them. And I remember going to a friend who's selling drugs and I said, can you just give me a week? I just want to make some money. And he looked at me and said, this isn't you. Imagine that. My friend, this isn't you. I see something greater for you. So here's $1,000. Go buy those jeans. I didn't see it then. You may not see it then. You may not see it then when you were in the midst of the things that you may see that are bad or whatever. But as I look back, at 17, I was in a vehicle taking a ride home from just getting off work. Worked at the hospital and was walking home, and some friends pulled up on the side of me and said, you need a ride? And I said, yeah, and they were from my neighborhood. And in New Haven, there was different neighborhoods that were rivals of other neighborhoods. And if you went in those neighborhoods and you weren't from there, bad things would happen. And we pulled into this neighborhood, and I knew this was our rival neighborhood. Now, I was friends with everyone, but because I lived in that neighborhood, a certain neighborhood, I was labeled. When we pulled into this rival neighborhood, I can recall the moment of why are we here? And it was 3 guys in the car. And the driver, the passenger, back seat next to me, and me in the right passenger side back seat. And I said, we're not supposed to be here. What are we doing here? And they said, we are going to pick up a friend who's stuck here at a party, and he's surrounded. So the driver gets out. I see the silhouettes of people circling the car because our cars were tinted, so they couldn't see him, but we can see out. And I remember there was a gentleman that approached. He had a hoodie on, and I saw him reach, and there was a gun in his hand. And I said, he has a gun. And next thing I know, I ducked and I heard gunshots. Bah, 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 bah. And our car was being riddled with bullets. In that moment of everything going fast, like a scene from The Matrix. Grazing past my head. I felt them grazing my face, the wind, the sound of ting, 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 glass breaking. I felt it. And in that moment of silence, while all this was going on, the muffling sound of gunshots and the smell of the smoke, I said a prayer to myself. And I remember everything slowed down, almost stopped. And then it was silent. And I jumped to the front to try to drive off, and then they started shooting again. And I felt this excruciating pain in my back. I fell back. I said, I'm hit. The passenger said, he's hit. I see he's bleeding. They rushed me to the hospital. They dropped me in front of the place, didn't even bring me in, said, don't say anything. Security guard brought me in. They operated on my back. And I remember the doctor said, it was 2 inches away from your spine. You could have been paralyzed. If the bullet would have kept moving, maybe an inch or two more, you would have been paralyzed. What slowed it down was it went through the trunk, a tire in the trunk, and it slowed it down so it entered my back in fragments, and it was only about this much inside my back, so they were able to pull it out. He said, you were lucky. And I remember that moment. I said, no, I wasn't lucky. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm here for a reason, to see another day. It was a purpose.
How did that change you, that moment? I can see that it brings that emotion out in you right now. It's like you're there. I'm there with you. We're all there with you. How did that change you?
Wow. I was grateful. Which takes you down the path of gratefulness. Because when you're grateful, everything else doesn't matter. So in that moment of being in a hospital bed and knowing that I'm alive, in that there's someone in that hospital right now that was fighting for their life because someone else was shot really bad outside of the car. And his family was screaming and said, don't let him die. Don't let him die. And I can hear that. And this happens every day in our community. And I'm here for a reason. So I said, what am I going to do? Can I allow this moment, this bad experience, to create a bad mindset? Or no? Do I turn on that light that's inside of us, that's already there, and switch on that light that creates and illuminates something in you and in me that finds the greatness and turns that bad moment into something beautiful? And so I said, when I get out of here, I'm going to do something to change my community. There's moments in your life that may feel like the lowest of the low, that may be almost near death, that were placed in your life for a reason, because you made it. You are here, you are present, you are breathing for a reason. And if you allow that situation to continue to change your mindset, because then I could have went into, I'm going to retaliate. Like my friend said, let's go back. I'm going to do this. We're going to go back and do. If I allow that, I wouldn't be the Terrell that I am today. So those moments that everyone has, it's not the end until it's the end. It's not over until it's over. So what are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do? That experience that you've experienced, how is it going to change your life so that you can change the lives of others? And it's those moments that create change. It's those moments that you find that greatness in you. It's those moments, those breaking points sometimes. Where I am today is being intentional, constant repetition of the things that I see myself already having. I'm already there. So that those moments when I don't receive the part that I thought was my part, You know about, I came to you and said, hey, I got this opportunity. I'm going to be in this big movie, blah, blah, blah. I'm auditioning. It was a great opportunity. And it didn't come to fruition. But like I said to you earlier, I'm open for everything attached to nothing. There's going to be things in your life that you think that you really want, it's supposed to be yours, and you're going to have it, and you envision it, and you think, oh yeah, this is going to be it. And then that particular thing that you wanted didn't happen, and so then you want to give up. But here's the thing. Even though you envisioned it, it might not have been that thing that you were supposed to have. It's something else coming in the future. And if you let go of that moment of, I was supposed to have that thing, and just be in the moment of, it's still here. It's still coming. There's greater things to come. Bigger things to come. So here I am today, a month ago, concerned about a movie part that I thought I was supposed to have. And then a couple of weeks later, I got an opportunity to produce on a film. So I go from an actor that's in the part to someone who's helping create a part, right? And so in that, there's greater things to come. There's greater things to come. And when we limit ourselves, we limit our greatness. It was a Sunday afternoon in Los Angeles, California. I was on Ventura Boulevard in the Valley, Studio City. I went into Pier 1, and Pier 1 is this beautiful store, have a lot of great stuff. And I saw this chair that it's like this beautiful nest, half a nest, and it has like a platform that you can put it on the ground and you sit in it and it's like a swing. And I was in the midst of, purchasing a home. We were looking for a home at the time, and I saw this chair and I sat in it. And something about when I sat in this chair, I just closed my eyes and I saw myself in my yard in this chair. And I just envisioned myself, and it wasn't intentional. I just sat there and I saw myself writing in this chair. And I was like, I want this chair. And I asked the lady, how much this chair cost? And she said, $800. And I was like, I'm not sure if I want this chair right now. So I was like, I'm buying a home. I don't know, but I really do want it. I'm going to get this chair. I will get this chair. I may not be able to get it today, but I will get this chair. So I went home after walking in the sun, and I typically don't go to bed this early. It was like 8 o'clock, and I must have took a nap. I went to sleep. I woke up at like 12 midnight, and my girlfriend was sitting sleeping in the bed next to me, and I woke her up and I said, hey, I just had a dream that I was in that chair and I was writing. And she laughed, said, yeah, and I was sitting next to you, like making a joke. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I envisioned myself there, and it was so real. And she was like, okay. Went back to sleep, got up in the morning to go to work. Now, everyone that knows about LA traffic, there's traffic every morning, anytime. So I had to be to work at 9. I was on my way. It was about 8:15. I was getting on the freeway. And as I'm getting on to onto the freeway, there's like a 1-lane, on-ramp. So I'm going around that on-ramp. And usually there's traffic going on there, but for some reason there wasn't. And as I get around the bend, right before the freeway opens up, there was something in the road. Looked like a body. And I got out of my car, pulled it to the side, put the hazards on, got out of my car, and as I walked up to the road, I looked, and on the ground was the same chair that I saw the night before, with the tag on it, brown, brand new. Now, in that moment, if people are listening to this, they're probably going, this can't be real. The believers are going, this is real. But if you guys are just questioning it, because my family, friends, different people questioned it, I looked up at the sky and I said, God, what are you trying to tell me? And I looked down. Now, this is just a chair, but it's a chair that I envisioned myself in. You don't see this chair anywhere. So I looked around, waiting for someone to come. I pulled it to the side. 5 minutes. No one pulling up on the freeway. Rush hour traffic in LA. 8 minutes, nobody pushing up. 9 minutes, 30 seconds. A white van is pulling around the bend. I'm like, okay, there he is. I reach over to the side, I'm holding it. He rides, slows down because he has to go around me. I'm like, hey, he looks at me like, why is this guy waving at me, and keeps going? So it wasn't his. So at that moment, I said, okay, let me try to fit it in my car. It couldn't fit. I put it on the side of the road. I said, here's the deal. I'm going to go get a van. If I come back, it's supposed to be mine. I go to work, tell my coworker, she's like, no, it can't be. I said, watch. I'm going to get a van. I use my job van. I go back, I get go back, I drive around the freeway. I'm going up the bend, and as I look to the right, on the tree is still the chair. And I now have that chair in my yard, and that's the chair that I write in. So that moment was so real for me that it got me to start looking into manifestation. That moment was, I knew that I was able to manifest things really. And I've heard about it, but I didn't know how it really worked. And I didn't know if you're really intentional and if you really believe and envision and create an emotion and see yourself there, that it could happen. So from that moment, I started searching. I started listening to Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Eckhart, Wayne Dyer. I started reading The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I started searching into myself. And that's when I found that God already placed this in me. So everything that I was going through in my past, I was able to connect the dots and say, thank you. He was already here. It was already there. And
Yes.
now I found it. I'm intentional, and now I can be more intentional about the moves that I make and the thoughts that I have and the words that I choose to say. So be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of the words, the choices that you make, the words that you say, because we do it every day. How many people say, man, this day sucks? And then guess what happens? You get into a car accident. Someone bumps you. You're waiting for this. You're having a bad day. Your employee or your employers are giving you bad energy. You created it because you said it, you thought it. So how about if we switch it around and say, I'm having a blessed day. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm having a blessed, beautiful day. When you switch it around, you're creating the energy. You're vibrating on a certain level. And that vibration then is attracting what you're saying and what you're thinking. And as you continue to vibrate on that level, those things that you want and see come to you. Right now, it seems that I'm having a bad day, because that's what my emotions is feeling like right now. And I've been putting attention on those emotions. But I'm going to step away from that and go, okay, I was feeling bad for a moment. But why? What is going on? What is happening? Why do I keep having these moments? And why can't I switch it to have these moments? Okay, so why can't I? Because I'm still putting attention on this. So why don't I be more intentional and switch what I'm thinking about to something better, so then I can create better moments. So when you step into a situation and you're intentional about it, what do I want to see happen? What do I need to see happen? And a lot of times we get caught up in the attention of the things that are going on, but not intentional. So if I have this dream of earning, you know, $1 million a year. That's your dream. You want to have $1 million a year. But your attention is always on that you don't have it. So your attention is on the lack of. You're going to continue to get the lack. Because although you're saying you want $1 million a year, but I got a bill. Damn it, how come I keep getting these bills and I can't pay the bill? You look at your bank account and it's in the negative. Your attention on what you don't have is on what you don't have. And so now you're stuck in this rut, but you're saying, I want $1 million a year. That's on your card. Your desire card, I want $1 million a year. I want it. But every time you get up in the morning or every time you go about your day, your attention on is what you don't have. That's when you're continuing to get what you don't have. So if you switch it and going back to intention, Bob Proctor, I've read Think and Grow Rich. I listen to him all the time, but, you know, and I've known the 13 principles. And when you go into auto-suggestion mode, you go into desire mode, you go into faith mode. When you go into those modes, you're able to switch that paradigm, which is lack paradigm, lack of money, lack of whatever it is paradigm, into having mode. And remember, I said earlier, it usually happens either when something drastic or emotional happens or constant repetition. Because that's how we get into those modes anyway. Coming up, I heard money doesn't grow on trees. We don't have it. How do you think we're going to be able to do that? In order to get money, you have to be wicked. Money is bad. Rich people that got money did something wrong, right? So those are the conditionings that I heard, the paradigms that I was told. But then I was hearing, and then I was seeing friends getting money because they were selling drugs. So I'm like, oh, okay. In order to get money, those wealthy people that I see in my neighborhood are doing something wrong, right? And so those paradigms become a part of you because those are the repetitional thoughts and things that people are saying to you over and over and over and over. So if you switch it and start changing up your thoughts and the things that you're taking in, money isn't bad. Money is good. My relationship with money is beautiful. When I have money, I can do more things. When I have money, I can live comfortably. When I have money, I can help other people. I love money. When I see my bill, instead of, I'm thankful that I'm able to pay my bill because I have money. If I don't have the money, money will come, right? So repetitiveness, I'm happy. I'm thankful that now that I have money. But what you're basically doing is you're reprogramming your subconscious mind, which controls your behaviors and your emotions, not the intellectual mind that's saying, I want money. Because your intellectual mind is saying, I want this. Your intellectual mind saying, I can do this. But your subconscious mind is going, no, you can't. You're from the hood. You're a woman. You're overweight. You're too dumb. You don't have the education. All those thoughts that people have been telling you. So when you're intentional about what you put into your subconscious mind, then you'll start to see the changes in your life.
Yes. Woo, you brought that home. And so when I wrap this up and put a bow on it, when it comes to that intention, your intention sets your attention.
Yes.
It sets your attention. And if we're not guarding what we're intentional about, we automatically, unfortunately, will become intentional about what our attention is on.
Yes.
And our attention is on the bill, the this, the that. I'm not good enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not the right, whatever, right? And on what looks like all of these bad things.
Right.
But when we, through that constant repetition that you talked about, and how much better is it, folks, to make that change on your own right now? Constant repetition, constant space, repetition, continuing to feed yourself the right things, set those right intentions, rather than having to have that explosion
Mm-hmm.
that you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then it's, okay, fine, that happens, but then it's from the bottom up, right? You have to, it's a shocker. Like,
Yes.
Bob Proctor talked about 9/11,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of those moments for everybody. But if we will take that, if we will set the intention
Mm-hmm.
right now,
Right now.
look at the thoughts. Don't blame everybody else and everything else. Take that ownership
Mm-hmm.
and set that intention for something higher, something better. Pay attention to your attention.
Yes. Yeah.
Doubt the doubts and the fears. Don't attend to them, right?
Yep.
So that is just incredible how you brought that home for us today. Oh my goodness. That intention, everybody. I hope you're grabbing this, because that intentionality, I wrote down so many notes here. That is what is going to switch you from I can't to I can.
Yes.
I won't to I will. And finally, it is to where it is. Act as if. You're not pretending when you say that. It's where you're setting your heart at that moment. And it switches your focus. It narrows it, right? And that is how our guest here, Terrell, has achieved his status.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how you said, I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, I'm a producer, I'm a speaker, but really you are all, because it's all the tools, as that was great. It's the tools of your gift.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody out there, set that intention. What are the tools of your gift?
Mm-hmm.
What is your gift? And if you don't know, just stop and think about it for a while. Go find somebody that loves you and will build you up. Get in touch with Terrell or me. We'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's it. Find that gift and utilize those tools. As he has said, this story, you took us right with you. I was right there with you, from the gunshot to everything that you went through, the theater, cleaning up props. I mean, you just took us on this ride. And as Les Brown always says, don't tell a story without a purpose. And with every purpose, there's got to be a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your story has this purpose, intention,
Thank you.
and helping people. And you wear that badge. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here today. And is there anything else that you don't feel that you were able to pour out, that you're like, I got to say this? Is there anything else on your heart?
I guess I would just wrap it up with how I started. As I took you through my journey, I didn't know what my gift was, like I stated. And it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago when I realized what my gift was, and then I started to be more intentional about it. The beauty of it is, other people that talked to me today said, I already saw it. There's nothing changed. You are doing what you've always been doing since you were a kid. And I didn't see it. So everyone out there, like Pamela said, you may have a gift that you are not aware that you have, but it's something that you do that makes you smile when you do it, or makes other people smile. And if you just go and ask someone or other people that love you, like, what is it about me that you like? What is it about me that brings you joy? they're going to tell you something. And that's going to make you smile. And when that makes you smile, you realize that that is your gift. That is your purpose. And continue down that path. Whether it's, some people, it's music. They, have friends that they played music all their life, but they were an accountant. But they never shared their music. But when they shared their music, people were like, oh my gosh, he's a great piano player. And now at whatever age you are, it doesn't matter. They're playing out in parks, in venues, and they feel joy, and it brings joy to other people when they hear them play their music. It may be your smile that when you walk in the room, you just light up the room. So what could you do that brings joy to people that when you walk in the room? So find the tool that you can use that when you walk in the room, just your presence alone makes people smile, whatever it may be. You may realize that, wow, I'm a great, I'm great with people. So I want to do this and do that. You have it already there. And like myself, and I'm sure like Pamela, we didn't always know what it was. We may have had little inklings of it, but it took something to happen for us to find it. So you find it. You have a light within you. We all have that light within us. Let it shine.
Woo, let it shine. I love that. Oh, thank you so much for being here today. This has been so enlightening. We have had the light bearer here. Terryl Daluz, the light bearer. I love it. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody for watching. I know you've been so blessed. Do us a favor. These shows are on demand. So guess what that means? Yep, that's right. Right below where you're watching, there's a share button.
Yes.
I believe this story needs to go viral. What do you all think? You know what? We can all do our part and share this story. Would you be intentional along with Terrell and I? And let's be intentional and share this everywhere so people hear this. Thank you for being a part of the Pamela Show, Terrell. Thank you to all of you who are here today where we learn and grow together. Remember, you have a purpose by design and not by default. So go on out there and continue to be the salt and the light everywhere you go.